Fred Talk Flow number 12, numero 12, aquí in Wyoming, Pennsylvania. So, I have a good friend of mine. I can call her a good friend now. Rachel Romig, GRCA, comes in, does the Fred Talk podcast. It was really cool to talk to her because I saw her everywhere. She was on magazine covers and people shared stories about her on Facebook, and I knew the name. And we got connected through, I believe it was Trisha Williams, my homie Trisha Williams, Social Clover Marketing. Check them out. And she comes in for the podcast and says, hey, I need you to do me a favor. And can you be the interviewer for Candace Nelson at the GRCA dinner? And right away, of course, I asked for the date and I got it. And it was the day after I got back from Charleston. And I said, yeah, of course, because why would I say anything else? I say yes to everything. That's what I do. I say yes to anything. And everybody kept saying, oh, it's such a great opportunity for you. It's going to be awesome for you to do this. And I said, yeah, of course. Why would I not want to talk to people that I don't know? And why would I not want to talk to Candace Nelson? I mean, she invented sprinkles. She was on Cupcake Wars. My daughter even knew who she was, so that was pretty cool. Little couple dad points on that one. But as the time got closer, I was regretting it. I was like, Jesus, why would I agree to do this? I need to talk in front of so many people. And, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. And I probably didn't show it, but holy shit. Terrified to be speaking in front of all these people. And I guess I didn't really let it hit me until rehearsal that day. It was crazy. I go to rehearsal at 2:00 at the arena. I walk in and I see all these tables and chairs, and I'm like, okay, I knew it was going to be full and there was going to be a lot of people, but I really just didn't understand how many. And then what I was told is the final count or something, I believe, was over 800 people. So I left the rehearsal shaking in my boots. And it was funny, too. I went there with like a T-shirt on, because I'm Freddy Vasquez. What the hell, right? So I got a T-shirt on, jeans, sneakers, and everybody else is all dressed up and looking nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy you picked to speak to Candace. Good move, But I left there, and I just remember just being like, holy crap! Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna mess up? What am I gonna say? What am I gonna yada, 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 yada. Things going through my brain, and I'm thinking to myself, this is just stupid. Why did I ever agree to this? You're going to look like a moron. You're going to screw up. And then I quickly realized, like, bro, who are you? Like, who are you? Why are you terrified? Why? You're Freddy Vasquez. That's who you are. You get up and you stand up and you take on all these challenges and you make them happen. You make them happen and you kill them. And you need to do that for yourself. Honestly, make yourself super uncomfortable and do some crazy things in your life. And this was one of them for me. And it was such a great experience after the fact because I got to meet Candace, and she sat next to me. And she was like, hey, can I sit next to you? Because I was going to interview her. And I was like, of course. And we started talking, and just it was so great to see she was normal. She wasn't like all those other people you might see in celebrity stories you hear about, and they're so, nasty and not nice and all these things. And she was just awesome. We sat there, we talked about all kinds of things, kids, and, what she did that day, and where she went to go eat, and how we both don't eat before events when we have to speak because we know, like, we just don't want to chance anything. And of course, I'm thinking, like, I'm not eating a bite of anything, because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom or anything, because, my insides are shot. And, it was just a great conversation sitting next to her, and we talked about what we were going to do when we go up there, how we're going to do it. And we went, we got called. I'm up there, and I get in front of that podium, and I'm shaking, man. I'm telling you, my hands were shaking, my legs were shaking, and they even wrote this stuff out for me, so I didn't even have to think twice about what I was going to say. But there was this cool little line. It's like, put witty little thing here. And I was like, well, what am I going to say? So I was trying to be witty. But it was fun. it was such a challenge for me to speak in front of 800 people. That was probably the most people I've ever spoken to. And it wasn't even about me. It was about Candace. But being there, even just to introduce her for those like 2 minutes before she came on, was exciting. The adrenaline started pumping. I called her up on stage. We sat down, and even then, I was such a noob. I'm like reading this card, like word for word, like, oh, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like thinking to myself, while I'm doing this and talking to Candace, and she's a professional. She's talking back to me, no problem. And I know she was even maybe trying to relax me because she asked me about my shirt first. But I read that first question. I almost wanted to like stop time and like jump out of my skin and look at myself and go, why are you doing this? Why are you reading this card like this? What is wrong with you? This is not how you roll, man. Get on it. Put the Fred into it. Put the spice into it. What are you doing? And I finally went back to my body. And by the second or third question, I'm like, okay, we're good to go. And we started rocking and rolling. And the only unfortunate part about the whole thing was that the whole event ran over a little bit. So I had to cut it short with Candace, which was a bummer because I felt like when I was finally getting my stride, we had to call it. But it was killer. It was an amazing experience. And I want you to know that you need to do those things in your life if just to feel alive. Like you need to do these things in your life so you can feel alive. So like think about that. And that's why I just said it twice, because not only because I mumble, because that's probably one of the things you need to do. You need to do things that make you feel uncomfortable so you can feel alive. That is killer right there. And you're going to be terrified. You're going to be scared. And that's all natural. But man, let me tell you something. When I was done and everything was over and people were coming up to me and they were asking me about Fred Talk and asking me about, this and how good it was, man, I felt like $1 million. Like $1 million, man. It was amazing. And I cannot wait to do the next one. So I hope listening to this and knowing you're going to be afraid, but knowing you're going to feel great afterwards, inspires you to sign up for a speaking event, inspires you to create your own event where you talk to people and you give them a little insight into yourself and what you do. I hope you're just inspired in general to do something cool, because life is too short to do shit you don't want to do, baby. And that's Fred Talk number 11. Don't ever forget your Uncle Freddy loves you. Peace. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of Fred Talk. Visit us online on fredtalk.tv and make sure you like this video and subscribe, and check out these playlists and all these other crazy videos McCookie wants you to watch. And don't forget, your Uncle Freddy loves you. Peace.